Welcome. We have now looked at the reason why it is mandatory for a company to carry out a due diligence of the target in order to manage risks. But what kind of information is a purchaser going to look for? Well, in this video specifically, we will give a very high-level overview of the financial due diligence. The financial due diligence is probably the core of the whole entire due diligence process. It is unfortunate that sometimes a senior manager tend actually to look only at the financial due diligence. It's true, it's very important, but it's not the only element that the due diligence team will have to assess and that the senior management will have to take into consideration to decide whether to go ahead or not. And that's because sometimes the financials look fantastic, but then when we look at, for example, a cultural integration or people integration, well, things change significantly, and actually the financial synergies can be easily destroyed by, for example, problems with cultural integration. But going back to the financial due diligence, well, first of all, how can you get the information? Well, if it is a friendly bid, in this case actually it will be possible to organize interviews with the management, and actually by talking with senior and well-selected managers you can actually gauge a lot of information with regards to the company itself. However, in some cases the actually due diligence will have to be carried out in a hostile context, and that's because basically the target doesn't want to be acquired, or for example doesn't want to get merged with the purchaser. So that's actually when interviews with senior managers will not be possible. However, the core of the information is going to be the historical financial data, and that's because basically the company, the purchaser wants to assess whether it's going to be a good deal or not. So basically try to make projections with regards to the future earnings of the company. Also, by looking at the statements of the company, so annual report, financial statements, it's possible to have a look at the previous performance and basically to look for trends and to determine basically what the future performance will be. Also, the financial due diligence is extremely important because it actually helps to determine the reason why the target is on the market and actually wants to be sold. So that's why the financial due diligence is core, because basically numbers show the previous performance and actually gives the purchaser the possibility to assess what the future performance would very likely be, and also basically to establish the price for the target itself. So basically the financial due diligence looks at revenue and cost forecast. It looks at future cash flow, and basically has got the aim to determine whether the target is going to be a good deal or not. In my future video I will look at the concept of value, because when we're talking about due diligence we keep on saying, is it a good deal, is it not a good deal, we're going to achieve value, to get value out of this. But what is value? So with regards to the financial due diligence, we have looked at very high level at the fundamental information that has to be gathered in order to determine whether the target is a good opportunity, represents a good opportunity, or if actually is better to step out and basically leave the target where it is. I must say that out of all the due diligence that I've taken part in, and there are hundreds and hundreds, probably only about 10 to 15% go ahead. In most cases, the due diligence actually shows that the target is not a good deal. For example, sometimes it doesn't just fit into the strategy of the purchaser. So it's better to carry out the due diligence, even though it's very important, and to realize that the target is not a good fit, rather than who cares with the due diligence, let's just go ahead and we will think about it later. Once you've signed the deal, you cannot go back. So it's much better to make your homework, do your homework before deciding whether to buy a target or not. Thank you so much for watching.